Kyle here from allmediareview.blogspot.com, here to talk about two things today. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Rock Hall and Babylon 5 related. I'll talk about the Babylon 5 thing first since it's quicker. So, J. Michael Straczynski, the creator of Babylon 5, Babylon 5 was a great sci-fi show that I haven't talked about in detail, and I need to go through a rewatch because I honestly have never seen every single episode. I've seen most, but I saw it sort of out of sequence over the years, and I have every season on DVD but one anyway. Then they had the spin-off with Gary Cole, Crusade, which only lasted one season. It was over before it actually aired. Unfortunately, it was already canceled. Then, so there were a couple movies too, but unfortunately, a number of the cast members have passed away. But I've been interested, J. Michael Straczynski did Sense8. Before that, he did Jeremiah. He's done some other stuff, but always been interested for him to bring it back or whatever he's going to do. The fan base, because it's a cult show, but it really, the episodic story arc, television, sci-fi specifically, set in space, shows set in space or in the future. So many shows that have come since owe a lot to it. Battlestar Galactica and The Expanse, just to name a couple. But anyway, so there are rumblings about them doing a reboot over the last few years. With JMS has posted on Twitter and on social media. And then there was some talk, what was going to go to the CW, but then because HBO or HBO Max had picked it up. The original series, the restored, remastered, digitally high definition. Why wouldn't it be on HBO Max? But that kind of has fallen through. Of course, we've got this writer's strike that now came up over the last week. Had been looming. But regardless of that, there was still some potential for whatever was going to happen over the last few years and delays. But he just announced the other day that something guaranteed is going to be coming, and announced today it's an animated movie. An animated film that's coming soon. The details aren't really revealed entirely, but other than, I could read the quote. I'm going to go off the camera here. The one post is, coming from Warner Brothers Animation and WB Home Entertainment, Babylon 5 animated movie, classic B5 Rosh's heartfelt, non-stop, a ton of fun through time and space, and love letter to the fans. That's a key part. A movie title, release date, and other deals coming 1 week from today. So next week. Yeah, okay. And it's just to be clear, this brand new original animated movie is already finished in the can, so 100% real, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of the fan base have seen these rumors and gossip and notes and stuff and wanted something to happen, but, didn't actually happen. This is actually happening. I know there's other stuff, like an actual reimagining or reboot, or something in the universe that has been talked about, but this seems to be real. We're going to find out a week from today. So, Babylon 5 fan like myself, big deal. A pretty big deal, at least. It's animated. Part of it is, okay, so it's an animated film. The cast members that are still alive can be involved, obviously. I don't know if they're going to be using any of the characters from people that are not with us, like Andreas Katsoulis, who played Jakar, and Richard Biggs, who played the Doctor, or Delenn, Amir Furlan. Those are some of the people. Garibaldi, what's his name? Michael? I forget the actor's name. But so and those cast members that aren't there. I know the guy who played Sinclair also wasn't with us, but maybe there's new characters. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I would imagine some of the original cast will be. From the original series will be on there. Bruce Boxleitner will probably be in there. Claudia Christian, and Peter Jurassic, I would think, who plays Londo. I would think there'd be a lot of desire to write for them again. But I don't know. We'll find out, So, and it's going to be obviously modern animation. It's not going to look like it's from the 1990s, although it was very sort of forward-thinking, ahead of its time in some ways, Babylon 5. You want to say hello? You want to say, yeah, I'm going off tomorrow. I'm going to be leaving the kiddies for a number of days, unfortunately. Kaja here is going to be missing his family. But so the other big thing is the Rock Hall got announced today. George Michael got in. Sheryl Crow got in. Kate Bush got in, and I haven't really said that much. Kate Bush, I'm not a huge fan, but I don't know her music that well. I know some of her hits. I listened to The Dreaming a few years ago, but I'm happy to see. I know the progressive rock, art rock art pop communities, and some of the new wave. Those that kind of community, those fan bases are happy that she's in, and this is like her 4th nomination. Now, I'll bring back the whole thing about, well, what really pushed her over the top, of course, was having Running Up That Hill show up on Stranger Things and going viral and everything, and it charting. It got to like number 2, number 3 on Billboard. So Toto had a song that was on Stranger Things. I think maybe the previous season. It was season 2 or season 3 with Africa, which is, didn't really need to be kind of exposed. Everyone knows Africa. Weezer covered it, and Andy McKee did a great cover, and it's a viral, standard really from the 80s pop rock. But Toto, by that same idea, the same show actually would also have pushed for the Rock Hall. I know there's some issues with the members of Toto, like when they were on, they wouldn't be on Rolling Stone, and they didn't really have great relations with Jan Wenner and Rolling Stone, but still, there's that little double standard there. But anyway, who else got in? Willie Nelson got in. I'm not, against him getting in. I just think this whole thing with Dolly Parton and him and country music, it's that whole issue. And Missy Elliott got in, too. So it's everything. We shouldn't call the rock. They're never going to rename it, rebrand it, even though that they're still calling it, this music isn't really, it's not rock music. I know some of his music crossed over, and even I can accept that to a point, but why can't we address the whole standard about jazz? Why is Herbie Hancock not in? Why aren't you bringing up John Coltrane, Dave Brubeck? Doesn't have to be early jazz, I suppose. You could Count Basie and Glenn Miller and everyone else like that. The most influential, Duke Ellington. Those people are not going to get any for early influence. I don't know. But at least if you're going to take something from the rock and roll era, Herbie Hancock, Miles Davis is the only one in. John Coltrane, the fusion guys and the Mahavishnu Orchestra guys, John McLaughlin, Chick Corea, the late Chick Corea now. It's a double standard. Pat Metheny probably should be considered. But we put every country artist, everyone had a hit that crossed over, So, Missy Elliott got in, that's also a little bit, I have issue with. I know one song from her maybe. She's so big, she's so influential, she's the most important female rap artist, the first female rap artist. But didn't Salt and Peppa and TLC and Mary J. Blige predate her by quite a bit? So why were they not considered? Why is she the one they have to, because her debut? No, those people came before her. And actually, I would argue that in the case of Salt and Peppa, they had 2 or 3 songs that were more popular than anything she ever did. At least I know them. My generation knows Salt and Peppa. So I still think this whole blow up about Missy Elliott, it was so obvious she had to get in, and on her first ballot, all this stuff, and it being the first female. They mentioned Queen Latifah, which, I'd agree with on that, although people know her most from her acting career. But yeah, we knew her. She was a rapper. I remember seeing her when she was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's the first time I'd seen her before. But, she got in. So we're going to have every big name female just rappers. We're going to get, down the road, we're going to have Kanye West. We're going to have Kendrick Lamar. We probably will eventually have Puff Daddy and 50 Cent, and it's a Rap Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is basically becoming the Rap Hall of Fame now. That's what it is. So Drake will get in. Cardi B eventually will get in, of course. So who else got in? They Rage Against the Machine. I mentioned that a couple months ago. It's fine. Tom Morello is on the Rock Hall committee. That's a little bit of a conflict of interest. Same thing with Dave Grohl getting the Foo Fighters in. So the Roots are going to get in because Questlove's on there. Committee needs a change, like I've said before ad nauseum. But it's fine. I actually like the first Rage Against the Machine album. That's great. At least they're in. We don't have to think about them. I still bring up the fact Faith No More predate them quite a bit and haven't even been brought up. System of a Down, though, having Rage Against the Machine get in, I think System of a Down, it increases their chances, which I'm happy about since I'm a System of a Down fan. Who else got in? There's only 1 or 2 other names I'm not thinking of. Going over it. This is last year. I'm on the last year's. Future Rock Legends. No. Who am I forgetting? Willie, Missy Elliott, Kate Bush. Cheryl. I didn't mention George Michael and Cheryl Crow, as I mentioned. And the thing is, with both George Michael and Sheryl Crow getting in, it's November 3rd. It's a Friday night. The wife and I are gonna have to think about going. I hope we don't have a conflict with this trip, this thing that's supposed to be related to our work that we might have to go to. I don't know, but it's in Brooklyn, New York, at the Barclays Center. Let's see here. Because they have musical excellence and did they list them all in here? No, they didn't. Oh, okay. The Spinners, that's the seventh one. So yeah, and I have no issue with them getting in. They deserve to get. They should have been in a long time ago. Although then they're putting it in. They're they go back to the '60s, I believe. There's only one member still alive, which is good that at least there's still someone alive in the band. Link Wray's getting in for musical excellence and also early influence, and then Shaka Khan and Al Cooper. Al Cooper, he did the organ part in like a Rolling Stone, and I was looking at his resume. A couple other songs I know. Tom Rush, actually. Bernie Taupin, the lyricist for Elton John. Sure, I guess that's fine. The musical excellence thing. Shaka Khan, by herself and with Rufus, was nominated like 7 times. So all these bands, individual artists that got nominated many times didn't get in. I mean, LL Cool J, Judas Priest, and besides Shaka, there was one other one that Nile Rodgers, / Chic, whatever. Nile Rodgers, which is Chic, basically. All of them have been put in that musical excellence category for being nominated several times. I don't know how many times Priest got nominated. I want to say it was 3 times. But I kind of think that's kind of the case where MC5, New York Dolls. Also I thought Kraftwerk got in, I think, under that category. They eventually got, not many times, but New York Dolls, MC5, these artists that kind of kept on getting nominated. Was it Jay Giles' band even? Just put them in musical excellence. All these artists that if you get nominated, they should just come up with a system then. Stop beating around the bush. That's what you guys are doing. You're basically saying taking the top votes, and then people that have been nominated or we've had nominated many times recently, we're just going to put it in. So it's almost like you either get nominated a bunch of times, and even if you don't get on the 3rd or 4th time, you're going to get put into musical excellence within the next few years. That's the system they could adopt, should adopt, and should be transparent about adopting. That would help. And having 7 performers, and then some of these others helps too. Having Shaka Khan finally get in, her name never needs to be thought about. The other one who just got put in for the Ahmet Ertegun Award was Don Cornelius, the founder, the guy who ran Soul Train, I believe. He hosted it and stuff like that. So the others that did not get in, well, Cyndi Lauper was the second highest fan vote getter. She didn't get in. She probably will get in. I still think if she's going to get in, you're going to have to consider people like Paula Abdul and some of these other 80s pop acts that still had a lot of hits that haven't been considered. Besides, George Michael, of course, that's the biggest one. Iron Maiden didn't get in. It's their second nomination. Judas Priest just got under musical excellence last year. I'm pretty certain the reason why Iron Maiden did not get in is because more people voted for Rage Against the Machine, because the voter, unfortunately, doesn't have that much passion for hard rock and heavy metal, are only going to vote for one of them because they got too many people to vote for. So I have a feeling that Iron Maiden not getting in the second time, they get nominated again. I think if they don't get in the next time, they're destined for the Musical Excellence Award. The White Stripes, I have no issue with them not getting in. I mean, they probably will eventually get in, but putting in them and not Coldplay doesn't make a lot of sense. Or for that matter, Lauryn Hill, right around the same time. But the artists that came like Weezer, those artists that haven't even been nominated that seem destined, or Tool. There's a couple other names on that Joy Division New Order thing. If they're gonna start doing that, then they should nominate the Guess Who and BTO together. And sadly, we just lost Tim Bachman, the second of the 3 Bachman brothers, just to die this year. Hopefully, Randy's still left. Of course, he was with the Guess Who, but I think those 2 would have to be nominated in a similar fashion. In some of these other cases where you have 2 different groups, who is it? That band from the 80s. That eventually became like Crowded House, and previously was like I forget the members of Crowded House were in a different band that had some hits before that. I'm blanking on the name, but so I mean, I'm overall, given the names that got in, the fact that Cheryl and George Michael and Kate Bush got in, I can't really complain. Will Kevin Gilbert be even mentioned or brought up? Maybe they'll show a clip of the Tuesday Night Music Club, and he'll be shown in it. That'd be my most optimistic. Of course, there is a lyric to "No One Said It Was Be Easy" at the Rock Hall when I went there in 2015 that shows all the writing credits and Kevin's name's on there. Of course, it's from Cheryl. But, George Michael getting in, the whole thing with Wham. Andrew Ridgeley will probably be showing up. So if we go, maybe we'd have some outside chance to actually meet Andrew Ridgeley. That would be a dream of Joyce's. I mean, obviously, Jorge Miguel, George Michael is the guy for her. But, so, yeah, all right. So that's kind of it. I am kind of on a time crunch, of course, because my wife and I are going to San Francisco tomorrow and not coming back till Monday, late Monday. So, but anyway, what's your reaction to the Rock Hall? Are you excited about the Babylon 5 movie, even though it's animated? What are your thoughts about that? I'd love to know. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.